Okay, so we're just going to start by lightening up the brow bone area a little bit. Just taking my trusty CVS kind of dense bristled eyeshadow brush. You can pretty much use any eyeshadow brush you have for this, because we're just going to go into like a little bit of a creamy color here. This is Rhythm from the Soundtrack palette. Looks like that. It's not white, but it looks like it on camera, but it's not. If you needed a similar alternative without wanting to buy like an entire palette, you could buy MAC's Bisque. MAC's eyeshadows are about, I think they're like $11 or $12. You can just buy like the little pots. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. Alright, so once you've got that kind of under your brow bone and into your inner corner, we're going to take a MAC 224. Just a crease blending brush. Mine's a little bit frazzled because I've had it for a really long time. And so what I was talking about, these little eyeshadow pots, they look like this. And some of them have like a magnetic on the back. Most of them do. When I get them from the MAC website, that's what they usually look like. And so you can get a palette. You can put them in there like that. And that way you have all of your colors in one spot, which is nice. This is kind of like a neutral palette that I'm working on filling up. So I'm going to go into a little bit of the color that I just showed you, which is Cork. And it's really, it's a nice medium brown. It's right there. And it pretty much looks good on everybody. If you have like, if you're concerned about creasing or any like metallic shimmery colors getting stuck in any lines that you might have, then you definitely want to stick with matte colors, and Cork is a really great color for defining your crease, and it's a really great color to kind of just sweep on and go, and it looks really nice. So I'm going to go into a little bit of Cork, and just kind of when you're defining your crease, and you want like a softer look, not like the cat eye look or like the, you know, more defined look in, that I have in my previous video, then you just kind of want to go in like a windshield wiper motion like that, just kind of staying in the crease. And if you have good brushes, that's really the key, because that's what does all the work. You can kind of, you know, Cork is a really nice color. It's really forgiving in that you can start and build color, and to, you know, the intensity that you want it to be. It can be, you know, darker, or it can be just lighter, you know, something nice for daytime. So you can see how it's starting to build up. So I'm going to go into a little more of Cork and continue sweeping that into my lid. I'm not going like all the way into my inner corner. I'm staying like a little bit away from that. I'd say like the inner like 1/4 I'm kind of staying away from. And then when I get to the outer corner, I kind of just go in little circles. See if you can see. Like that. Nothing major, nothing like of any skill level really, just kind of circles like that. I'm not really at this point too worried about where my eyeshadow is going. I'll sometimes take, you know, from this outer corner, just kind of sweep it down into my lash line. Like that. No biggie. So then I'm going to go into another MAC color. The color is Woodwinked. Looks like that. It is a shimmery color, so if you are afraid of, you know, shimmer getting in your lines, any lines that you might have, then stay away from this color, and you could just stop at the Woodwinked. You could go in with like a little Carbon, which is like a black color, which we'll get to in a minute, but and then you could be done. So, and if you wanted just a, you know, very light looking daytime look, you could totally stop here. And it looks defined, it looks, you know, pulled together, it just doesn't look like you just slopped everything on. So, you know, I do my makeup like that a lot, but most of the time I have more makeup on than this. We all know that. So, I'm going to go into a little bit of the Woodwinked, the same brush. And Woodwinked can sometimes look, it's a warmer color, but I like the Cork underneath it because it makes it even warmer. Cork is a very warm color, so that's why I put the Cork first. And then, so I'm just going to stay a little more in the crease this time, and we're just kind of darkening, building layers of color. Same motion of the windshield wiper, and then like little circles on the outside outer corner. And then sweeping down into the lower lash line. Okay, so at this point what I would do is just take a MAC 217. It's like a little blending brush. You can use something fluffier, like I have something from, oh no, this is Sigma. This is a Sigma 224. You could use that if you wanted to really blend out the color up and blend it with that lighter color on top and just kind of have it like this brush versus something like this. This brush is going to blend more color, so it's going to take away more color and it's going to be a much softer look. This isn't going to blend it as much. So I'm going to go in with that and just kind of blend that with the color that we previously put under the brow bone. And this makes for a really seamless look. Same thing, just kind of windshield wiper motions. So that's blended. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of a smaller brush. I don't know what you would call this. It's kind of like a small crease brush. You could use a MAC pencil brush for this, which is a 219. You could use that as well, but it's dirty, so I'm not using it. So I'm going to take this brush. It's just a small kind of crease brush, and go into a little bit of Carbon by MAC, just a black, flat black color. So if you were, like I said, concerned about, you know, creases or lines, then you would just skip the woodwinked basically, and that would just keep the shimmer out of this look. So we're going to go into the Carbon, just pick up a little bit on my brush, and this time I'm going to try to stay a little more in the crease without like going, you know, the windshield wiper motion. So what I'm going to do is just kind of put the brush on the crease like that and just sweep inward. And it's instantly going to darken that crease right where you need it. Short strokes. Now you notice I'm not doing the windshield wiper motion because I don't want to blend this black color all the way into everything and then everything's going to look the same. I want this outer corner to stay darker, so I'm sweeping from out in, but not from in to out, if that makes sense, because that'll kind of keep the color more localized. So we're going to again go right on the crease and just sweep it in. I'm picking my brush up each time, so sweep it in, pick it up, and go right back to where you were. Now you can, you know, do your little circles if you want and blend that Carbon in a little more. And then at this point I'll get a little more Carbon, and then I'll just start, you know, where we started originally, but I'm just going to sweep down instead. And just like, same thing, you sweep down, pick up the brush, and replace it, and sweep down again. Sweep down. Doing short little strokes just to define that outer corner. Okay, again I'm going to get my MAC 217 and just kind of blend that out. Still though, with this color, I am picking up my brush each time. After I swipe in, I'm picking it up, starting here again, swipe in, pick it up. So that's what that looks like. Okay, so if you want to keep it kind of like subdued looking, I mean this is pretty good. My computer's like shutting off. And then if you're like me and you always have to add that little something extra, then I would line the lower lash line. So I'll show you how to do that. But like I said, if you just want a more simple look, then you can just stop now and then do your, liner. You don't even have to do liner with this. You could even do, like, take a brush like the 212 by MAC and just go into, like, a little dark brown shadow or black shadow and just kind of, like, get that in, like, in the lash line, but you don't necessarily have to do a liner with this. I did because I always wear liner. I think I don't know. I just like it better. That will be all on that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just take this MAC 212. It's just a really, it's like a chiseled kind of tip. It's very short. So what this is great for is doing like any type of liner, whether it's like on top or your lower lash line. This is even good for like a liquid or like a cream liner. Dip it in there, and so you can see it's like really stiff, and that's why it's so great for lining. So I'm just going to go into a little bit of the woodwinked with this brush. Get a little bit on there. And I'm just going to line my lower lash line, kind of connecting what we've done here in the outer corner. There is some in my eye right now. And then I'm also gonna, I think I want to lighten up this inner corner a little bit. So I'm gonna go into, just gonna grab a shadow brush, 239. Looks like that. Just a kind of fluffy shadow brush, not really, doesn't really matter too much. And I'm gonna go into, what is this color? Naked Lunch. Looks like that. It's kind of a shimmery, taupey kind of color. Just gonna put that in the inner corner. That'll brighten it up quite a bit. I always like to put something light in my inner corner just because I feel like, I'm actually gonna go a little bit on my lid with that as well. Just because I feel like you look so much more awake when you have something light on your inner corner. So I'm sweeping that in my inner corner, and I'm bringing that out a little bit onto my lid because I like the way that looks. Okay. Maybe a little bit up here because I can just never stop. Alright. I'm going to take that same brush that I just had, if I can find it. The little short stubby brush, the 212. And I'm going to go into the Naked Lunch also with this brush. I just brushed it off a little bit. I didn't like wash it or anything, just kind of go into there. And I'm just going to line the rest of my lower lash line. So with the woodwinked, I kind of went like halfway, and then with the rest of my lower lash line, I'm lining in the Naked Lunch. And that brightens up your whole eye quite a bit. Okay, so what you would do at this point is do lashes and liner. You could definitely, like I said, do an eyeshadow liner if you wanted to. Just kind of by dipping that brush in some eyeshadow. You could even get it wet if you wanted a little bit darker, but not as dark as this liner. And then mascara, lashes if you want to, which I always want to. So I will be doing a lash video actually coming up. So how to apply false lashes, watch out for that. And I'm going to be doing a mascara and liner video also. And I have a little haul, mini, very small haul that I'll be putting up also. So just keep watching for that. And thank you guys so much for watching.